What's going on, everybody? We're back at it today. So, another episode, another week. I got a little surprise for you guys today. Disclosure: this is going to be a long ass episode. So, I was thinking, and I had advice from a buddy of mine, pretty good shape guy, played football, everything. Great guy. I want to shout out to him. He has a great detail shop, so I will put his stuff in the prescriptions also. So check him out if you're in PA. If you need a detail, go to my boy. So he recommended get a coach, and I've been thinking lately. I maybe a little trainer, maybe just get me on a run path. I've been working with somebody on the side. Disclosed he was an asshole, so yeah, I cut him. So me and Nick been going back and forth for a while, talking about get him on the channel more, him maybe start his own, series, something. So why not kill two birds with one stone? Not literally. Um, so I brought him in to coach me. And obviously I know it's a lot of work, so I'm not expecting it to be free. We came out with a decent price. I would like to keep that private. But he's open for the public for any of you guys want to use a coach, a trainer, whatever. He's definitely available. So I'll I'll show you the whole. I record the whole conversation. And when the conversation's done, I'll come back and give you my feedback. I think I might be doing this weekly now with him, because it works better. He is more a professional at this than I am. The reason I'm a chef, not a personal trainer for a reason. So, except that, see you guys in a minute. Okay, so I am recording, so you know, I'll be aware of it, right?
Absolutely, man.
All right. Okay, the ball's yours. You can start.
Hey, yeah, so basically, the point of this is to get onboarded and get everything started. So whatever you're open to sharing, sort of going to go over sort of what your main goal
Mm-hmm.
is, maybe what your biggest challenges are, and sort of discuss short-term goal, long-term goal, and then just get an idea of your current routine, what you've been doing,
Okay.
and then that way from there we could start to design a plan and see what the next best steps are.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
All right.
And I've been very transparent with all everybody who's been following, with you and everybody. So I'm happy to share anything. I have no problem doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whatever you're open to sharing, you go right ahead.
Okay.
So, basically, to start it off, we just want to sort of identify like what is your main goal, or what is the reason of having a coach, or what are you looking to gain here?
One. I'm all over the place in the gym, so I want to get a little bit of focus. I need also a little structure. In other words, suffer in that. I suffer a little bit of discipline. The reason I say that, I always focus on work and everything else, and I put myself always in the back burner. And I need to start putting myself up front because I don't want to turn into my parents. In other words, the reason I say that is, as much I love my parents, they're both diabetic, both have blood pressure, and both have a lot of health issues. I really want to avoid that for me as long as possible because I'm already getting fucked on the blood pressure, I'm fucked on the diabetes, and I'm fucked on the cancer part. So if I can fight this off with my health, this is like a live or die kind of situation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it's sort of health, longevity,
Yeah.
maintaining health over a period of time. What would you say sort of your main goal is?
How silly this sounds is I want to have a Greek god body, in better words to put it. Um, like Chris Evans' chest, Thor's arms, nice abs, like the body everybody wants. Did I lose you there, Nick?
Hold on. Sorry. Where's the video here? Why is that not opening again?
I have no.
Um,
There you go.
oh, there.
That was on you.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Greek god body. I fully concur with that.
Okay.
So sort of arms, shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
chest are really getting everything built up.
Yep. The whole thing.
Can I ask why that's important, or what's the reasoning behind that?
But it was a good reason. As I was growing up, I was always made fun of. I was called the Tank, Porky Pig, Body Shame 101. My cousin's fiance, ex fiance now, he looked at me one time and says, "Man, you're fat. You need a fucking bra. Maybe you should borrow one of mine." It was literally I was beat up that, and it's stuck in my head. And like I know this sounds silly, and whoever is watching this, I hope they will take this as seriously. When you make fun of somebody so long, it fucks your head up pretty bad. And like I even see a therapist, and not because of that reason, for other reasons, but that's something I'm trying to get through. Like having that body is not always the end goal, but it is to me. That's what I want, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. So sort of overcoming your past self in a way
Yeah.
and getting through that. Now, in regard to that challenge, is that something that happened many, many years ago? Is that something that happened a few years ago,
Happened
or
years
what's
ago when I was growing up, mostly. It happened from when I was a little bit, when I was like my teenage years, I want to say, all the way to my mid 20s, and it kind of sucks. Even to this day, some people still make comments like, "Oh, you let yourself go." No, I actually have lost a lot of weight already. Like I said on the channel already, and I told you, I lost already 15 pounds. I think that's a good accomplishment.
yes,
And
yes,
quitting
that is.
smoking on top of that, vaping and smoking 6 months clean. Well, you try to do both of them at once, and good luck with that if you could handle it. Because when you quit smoking, you get the munchies a lot. And I thought pretty good. One thing I did realize, and I want to bring this out, when I get upset, I am an emotional eater. I have realized that about myself.
Okay. Would you say that's still sort of a
Oh
challenge
yeah,
that you
yeah.
face?
Like I go to the sweets so immediately. Oh, I go to my favorite. One of my favorite drinks are Mountain Dew, and I know that's not the healthiest thing. And I'll admit that I have I'm a cook, so I know as a chef and as a cook, you go to taste your food. I get that part, but I need to avoid as mostly as possible, and it's something I'm struggling with. And I think with your coaching, that will help.
100%. Accountability is a big part of it,
Hmm.
is to really identify some of the challenges and the sticking points,
Yeah.
and then hold you accountable to working through some of those. So, what would you say? Then what would you say your biggest challenges or your biggest obstacle in trying to hit your goal here?
Diet is number one. I'll say that. Second, I'll probably say making time, and that's one thing I do struggle a lot is time because, like I said earlier, is I put everything forward first. Like the dog, the work job. Like I work 15 hours a day, and I put myself the very last burn. And by the time it's time for Pete, he's burned out, and like he just want to go take a shower and relax and watch some TV. And that's an issue I've been struggling with.
How do you currently sort of deal with stress? Is that a stress relief? Is to at the end of the day, like relax, TV, stuff like that? Do you have any other routines around stress?
Just deal with it. Really, to be honest with you, I realize when I go to the gym in the morning, it helps the day out. But again, it's doing everything else I do on top of that. I go to bed late sometimes, and I need to fix that. It's time management. That's one big issue. I would say time management. It's very hard, and I mentioned it before on the channel and with you and other people. Is time management is a very hard thing for me.
Yeah, do you have a schedule that you sort of make for yourself, or you sort of take day by day, or how does that look?
As what we're talking about, work or gym or both
Sort of
or
like
life.
maybe yeah, like a weekly calendar where you're like, hey, I'm going to the gym at this time, I go to work at this time, this is what I do after.
So my work schedule never changes. It's always from 9:30 to 8 at night. That's always
Okay.
been like that. So I leave the house about 8:45 to 9 o'clock. It was only 30-minute commute, except with this crazy snowstorm yesterday that I stuck in the trap. 3 hour, 30-minute drive became a 3 hour drive. But that happens once in a fluke. I usually my routine in it depends on the day. Like Mondays, really I don't go to the gym because I stream Sunday nights. Uh, but Monday I will. I mean Tuesday I will get up at 5, make my breakfast. Do what I need to do, and then I be at the gym by 6:30 the latest. And then I go 6:30. I did lift for an hour, cardio for 45 minutes. Then I hit what's it called man, my brain is froze. Then I shower, whatever I need to do, get ready for work, do my job thing, and I come home and relax afterwards. I eat my meals between those, and that's pretty much it. Like that's the gist of it.
Okay. And sort of so that's the routine when you're sort of going to the gym. What days does that usually happen for you? Like when you're going to the gym, you're planning your workouts?
Monday, Thursdays, Fridays for sure. I'm gonna start using Wednesdays too. I just have to figure out what time. These Wednesdays are usually chemo days for my mom, so I need to work around that somehow. And that's workable. That's very easy because not all days. It's only like 4 or 5 hours usually. I need to worry about. But so I have the rest of the day. 12 days an hour. You know what I'm saying? I have 12 hours to figure out what time. So I want to say right now, I'll say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay. And then weekends sort of off. That's your relaxed time.
Weekends are hard. But it depends on what weekend it is. If it's my weekend on, I have both weekends are on. So I work a half weekend and a full weekend. This weekend coming up is my full weekend on. So it's not gonna be able to go because I have to get streaming and going to work is kind of hard. So if it's my weekend off, I can imagine probably it's every other Sunday.
Okay. Do you have sort of a full rest day that you plan in your week, like where you're just sort of relaxing for the day and de-stressing, or
I don't have that liberty, unfortunately.
okay? Is that something that you feel you could use some work, or you
Oh
you
yeah,
want to focus
definitely.
on it?
Yeah, I love to, but that's not liberty, unfortunately. If I don't have to deal with doctors, I have to deal with something else. If I don't have to deal with work stuff, it's something else. It's always something going on. I love to just sit back and relax. The only time I get relaxed is when I go visit my buddy CQ in Maryland, and I take 3 or 4 days off. That's the only time. That's once a year. I know that's not enough. You get mentally and physically burned out fast.
Yeah, it definitely take a toll on you, especially when you're doing all these things. You're
Yeah,
streaming, you're going to work, traveling. It's a
yeah.
lot of things in the day. So that's amazing, man. You get up sort of nice and early. So the days that you do wake up at 5 a.m., what time are you sort of going to sleep the night before?
It's gonna be between 10 and 11.
Okay.
Not ideally, but it's the best I can do. I am looking for another gym that is 24 hours. I think that'd be better than what I do now because, like, the gym closes, I think, what, at 10 o'clock? So by the time I
Yeah.
get down here, it's only an hour and a half. I'm not going to rush through my workout. I like taking my time.
Do you feel you like to work out better in the morning or better at nighttime?
Probably say in the morning. As much as I hate getting up that early, I think it's better because once you get it out, I don't have to excuse, I'm too tired. I'm too this. No, I can get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sometimes working out too late at night that can sort of because your brain's going, your heart's racing and stuff, so that could
Mm-hmm.
sort of make it harder to sleep around that time. So the nights that so let's say you're going to sleep 10, 11 o'clock, how do you feel when you get up at 5 a.m.? Do you feel like
Cranky as shit.
exhausted, tired, or
I'm cranky as shit because I'm not a morning person and I don't want to get up, but I do it and I just push through it.
and what's sort of that routine look like? Like once you open your eyes, take me through a quick snippet of what that looks like.
I usually get on the phone for a little, till I actually fully wake up because I know myself. If I don't give a few minutes, just to, the news or something, then the dog looks at me and goes, dude, I need to get out. I want water or something, so I let him out. I go brush my teeth, obviously, wash my face, moisturize my face, then put some beard oil on, brush through my beard, brush the hair I don't have anymore. When it grows back, I'll be brushing it again. Um, but and that's it. Then I go downstairs, have a cup of coffee with just almond milk, no sugar, and two hard-boiled eggs. And once I'm done with that, then I get dressed and go to the gym.
Okay. And then what time you eating? What time you end up eating around in the morning those eggs?
I'll say about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Okay. So you go, you then work out. What happens after? you're done with your workout?
First thing I do come home is have a protein shake. And I use an MRE from Red Core with almond milk, 8 ounces. After that, I walk Alex. That's my little guy. When I'm done walking Alex, I have a oatmeal after that. After I just put a little cinnamon and milk, almond milk again. Nothing too crazy, no sugar, no anything like that. Then I get ready for work. I drive 30 minutes to work. Then the grind starts. It depends what happens to the day. Who called off, who's here, who's not, and stuff like that. I have to taste almost 95% of that food comes out of that kitchen. Because again, I work for a hospital. I need to make sure it is on point. Because my ass is on the line.
Absolutely. So just to get a better sort of visual, you're going to the gym, you have your protein shake, oatmeal, you get in the car, you're going to work. What what time about do you then start to like taste the food or what you have to do at work?
I can start as soon as I walk through the door. Depends what's going on that day.
Okay.
Um, Not always, but most times I would say probably it will start kicking in into around 10 o'clock, 11 around there. I would say.
Okay. And are these like little just spoon tastes or are they like a little plate
Oh,
of
it's a
food?
bite, a bite.
Oh, okay. And then when's your next sort of biggest meal once you get to
But
work?
between 2 and 2:30. That's my lunch
Okay.
hour. I usually that's my biggest meal of the day is my lunch. Depends what's going on. I always bring my lunch from home, and I know I work in a kitchen. I can probably cook whatever I want. The last thing I want is to cook for myself, so I bring it. I prep myself the night before. It gives me opportunity to prep for my mother because obviously, like I said, she has cancer. She can't do a lot. So I prep for her. Then I also prep for myself. Whatever I eat, she eats, and vice versa.
What's your most common sort of go-to meal when you're doing that?
She loves her pasta. My mom loves her pasta, and I try to avoid as much as possible. I really am trying to make her comfortable and as happy as much as possible. So if I make bolognese, for example, I'll give her pasta and I'll put rice for herself. I make myself rice instead. So
Okay.
trying to alternate it a little bit for me. So it really depends. It really depends. I can't really sit there and tell you. Lately, it's been a lot of protein with the starch. That's the go-to lately. So
Okay.
like beef or steak, stuff like that. Chicken we eat. She complains I cook too much chicken. That's the problem. Too bad. I tell her it's good for you. She goes, I'm gonna become chicken. So I'm trying to a little alternate a little bit. Lamb we eat a lot. I gotta be honest, we do eat a lot of lamb. I know they say it's fatty, but I actually drop weight when I eat
No,
lamb.
lamb is one of the cleanest foods you could have because they're naturally grass-fed. They won't really eat junk. So
There you go.
that's like one of the best options there is.
I try to avoid pork because I know it's high on fat. So I try to avoid. I try to stick to like I said, chicken, turkey, lamb, lean ground beef, stuff like that. If that makes sense.
Absolutely. Okay, so your biggest meal around 2:30
hmm
for lunch. Then when's sort of the next time you eat?
I will have a protein bar around 6 o'clock. I don't want to show you this picture because I took it just for this reason.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know if you can see it. That was my meal on Thursday.
Is that like meatballs or
They're bowls with rice and a lemon sauce over
oh,
it, and I added a little hot sauce because I want a little spice to it personally.
okay. Do you have anything else with the protein bar that you're having at 6, or is that sort of like a snack?
That's it. That's the end of the day.
Okay, and that's sort of the last do you eat
Yep.
when you get back from work?
Nope. I get
Oh,
home
okay.
between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. I feel it's too late. I don't want to sit in my stomach all night.
So once you sort of have that protein bar, you're sort of okay until you go to sleep?
Yeah.
You don't really have it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sometimes I get the cravings, like I need to eat. I feel like like my stomach's growling, like I need to eat. But I can fight through that usually. Like whatever, I'm good.
Okay. In regard to beverages and stuff, what do you really drink besides water and coffee?
My guilty pleasure is Mountain Dew.
Okay. Is that Is that like a daily thing? Is that maybe one time a week? How does that look?
Depends how bad my week is going. If it's having a really bad week, I might have one every night. It's like,
Uh,
you know how people have beer after work to
Yeah.
relax. Mountain Dew is my thing to relax.
Okay. Okay. All right. So getting an idea of the routine there. You take any supplements or medications at this moment?
I take some supplements. No medication, thank God. A multivitamin I take. Um, Zing I take. Trying to think what else. Collagen I take is skincare from Acme, and
Okay.
biotin for health growth, beard, and hair, and nails. And I just got in the middle today. I was going to review. Hey, by the way, reviews coming soon, guys. A fish oil I'm gonna be using soon too.
Fantastic.
And I have coming.
You've done your
Yeah,
research.
and I have gummy apple cinnamon gummies coming soon. I want to taste out too.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
That's one of the questions I was going to ask you today is what kind of supplements you think you want me to get on. I can go grab them really fast if you don't mind, talking to the fans for a minute until I get back.
Yeah, so when it comes to supplements, just keeping things as simple as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Protein's good as a convenience thing when you're on the go or if you got to make a quick shake. Fish oil, really important. That helps skin, hair, joints. Definitely zinc, especially for guys. Helps with testosterone, helps with a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things. The multivitamin probably has some vitamins and minerals like B vitamins and stuff. Um, but yeah, when it comes to supplements, it's really a matter of looking at nutrients. They're the most important. So, like your vitamins, your minerals, making sure those come in. Vitamin D sometimes can be a really good addition, depending. Sometimes we don't get enough during the winter months. So, vitamin D can definitely help with immune system. It can help with testosterone. It can help with mood. It can help with a lot of things. So, yeah, just sort of keeping things simple and then, sort of, as we go through this process, we could start to figure, hey, how are things working out? What do we have to change? What are we looking at? We really don't need like fitness supplements. There's really not a necessity for them as long as you're eating whole food, your diet is pretty decent, or working on some sleep, getting hydration in. Um, that little routine you got going there, I think that's a good foundation.
Yeah. The only one I was really going to ask you is two of them. I was going to ask you about D3. I was thinking about picking that up too later on because that's because we don't get enough sun, I believe, during the winter. I don't get enough sun anytime because I'm always in the goddamn kitchen. So don't be a chef. That's my advice to anybody who's watching. Don't be a chef. And CLA, I was thinking about also getting because I think that's more down the road to CLA because I know I have a hard time straightening fat around my midsection, and I know that's going to probably help out a lot to the CLA. What were you thinking?
Yeah, CLA can. But you could also look at things. So that energy drink Celsius, I don't know if you're familiar with that. That's a really good formula because they have green tea extract, they have guarana, taurine, and that's really effective for getting the metabolism going. That's sort of what I use personally, sort of like before I work out, is Celsius. So that could be pretty effective too.
Mm-hmm. What about D3? That's a go.
D3 definite. Ideally, you want to get something that's in a fat form. So what I mean by that is sometimes vitamin D will come in regular tablets. Vitamin D3, it's fat soluble. So when it's with fat, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to absorb it as best as possible. There's a lot of decent brands out there. Um, One of the top ones is called Dr. Mercola. The reason is it's a liposomal vitamin D. Basically, what that means is when you take it, your as you're eating fat, your body absorbs it. It's the highest availability. It's the most absorbable form.
Okay.
So if you're looking to build your levels up quick, and it runs probably sometimes like 17, $19 a bottle.
Nothing about the
Um,
money. The company I personally use is my go-to company right now because I heard a lot of good things. I have nothing negative that I heard of is Solagar. I don't know if you ever heard of them.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Another great company.
Yeah, with BD3 I'm looking at right now is about 10,000 IUs, 250 milligrams, daily, dietary free, no, non, God damn it, GMOs, I don't see anything bad really in it. What are you thinking, Nick? This is
Yeah,
your
that's a pretty clean brand. When I worked at the health food store, that's like one of the top brands that they had there. So Solgar is amazing.
okay. So
But
you
yeah,
want
and 10,000 IU, that's like daily dose. So
to?
that's a good way to start to build up the levels.
Okay. So okay, I'll order that tonight actually, so it comes in the mail pretty soon.
Okay.
Okay.
And let's sort of get to like exercise.
Yeah.
What
Before we
what are
go to
you?
that, I want to ask you one more question. Now, with the
Yeah.
protein shakes, do you want me to start trying? I know it's a supplement, technically, the protein bars and shakes. Do you want me to try to go to Whole Foods? Let's say after the gym, I have maybe another two more eggs and an oatmeal instead, versus a shake. What, or you want me to continue with that path for now? We adjust that later.
All it's personal preference. All the whatever's easier for you with your routine. And then we could take a look, like as we go through this, sort of within our app. You'll be able to like snap pictures. Hey, this is the protein I'm drinking. This is this thing I'm taking, and then we could start to find maybe there's a better swap we can find. But yeah, you don't have to remove them. You could use them, but always try to focus on whole food if possible. So if you can get it from eggs or fish or chicken or beef, that's always going to be the most
The
ideal.
morning one
But
is the easiest for me. I can swap that out with like maybe having an omelet when I come home from the gym.
yeah,
Maybe like a mushroom, pepper, or something omelet, or with spinach, something like that. And maybe like one slice of cheese for because I know cheese is fatty, but not it's not too bad for you, but it's not the greatest. Am I wrong or right here?
yeah, as long as it's good quality cheese, like you don't ever want to use shit like Kraft singles. That's not cheese. But if you have actual real cheese, cheese can be very healthy as well.
Yeah. So as long as I'm in my macros, that's what matters. So
Yeah.
the dinner one,
And,
the snack at 6 o'clock, that's the one I need to use something because I'm cleaning the grill, I'm cleaning the line.
yeah.
So that's the point. I need to start. I need something quick. A protein shake would be ideal. A protein bar is fast, if that makes sense.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep. And so in regard to this, the basically one of the main focuses we want to do is take your body weight and we want to get almost around that in
Hmm.
grams of protein per day.
Okay.
So
And that's one thing I've been struggling with, to be honest with you. Try and keep the fat low and get that up, and keep the carbs not going crazy out of the roof. And the balance game is the balance game is kind of hard. So this is where your expertise comes in, obviously.
yeah, and we'll sort of work piece by piece. Getting started, the most important is keeping the focus on the protein because what will happen over time is it'll sort of rebalance the rest of them because you're going to be more full on protein, you'll be less hungry, you'll have more energy, more focus, and you'll see that over time, your body doesn't crave the other stuff as much. So that's why hitting the protein number is the most important because it affects everything else.
This might be a stupid, crazy question. Over time, as I'm losing weight, my
Yeah.
energy levels used to be very high. Would I get some of that back? I know I'm getting old and grayer and probably need a walker soon, but that's a different story. But the point is, am I gonna get some of my energy back over time when I start losing weight?
Oh, 100%, 100%. So between getting better sleep, getting good hydration, having good nutrition coming in, good exercise
Mm-hmm.
coming in, those are all going to start to help the metabolism. And then also, a good analogy is thinking of your body almost like a cell phone battery. So the extra fat we have, some of that energy is getting used on some of that extra fat. So as we reduce some of that, and you're losing some weight, now you have more energy freed up for other functions, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And so let's look at sort of a typical, like what's a typical workout? Are you following a program, or what does that look like when you go to the gym?
The program is in my head. I have no Pacific. I don't write anything notes down because I knew eventually I was going to get somebody like yourself or somebody who's a little more educated. I am educated, like you see, but not as much as you are. So the plan I have right now is Monday, chest day, for example, or whatever chest day is on
Okay.
Tuesday. I go in, I hit a chest bench. Whatever weight I feel, I put it on there. I don't really focus on that too much. I try to focus on the form more than the weight. I feel the muscle memory. That's one thing I struggle. Mind muscle connection. Trying to understand that concept. I'm still having a hard time. And the pump. I don't like something that I do understand it, like biceps for. Okay, that's like okay, But with the chest, I don't ever feel a pump, if that makes sense.
Yeah, chest is a harder muscle. It'll happen over time.
Mm-hmm.
A quick trick I've done over the years is like I'll look at like an anatomy chart. It sounds stupid, or I'll look at like a bodybuilding magazine or bodybuilding images, and I'll just like try to visualize sort of the muscle. And it sounds stupid, but it works over time where you sort of could be at home, you could be in the car, and you just try to like flex the muscle a little bit. And over time, you start to feel things a little more. And that's going to transfer directly into your workouts. Because then when you're working out, you'll be like, oh, wow, I do feel my chest a little more. Because you're like practicing sort of squeezing it or flexing it, if that makes
That's what
sense.
I try to do something similar. I think of the muscle squeezing. Let's say this is the chest. It goes, squeezing in. I'm like I imagine that muscle in my chest same time when I'm pushing up. I know it kind of sounds weird, but it kind of works for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but like back to the original say, I do a bar, a flat bench bar. Then I go to the dumbbell to
Okay.
do a incline. Yeah, the incline. I do like maybe 2 or 3. Then I go to flies. It really depends where I'm at because it depends what bench I can get, how crowded it is that day. That's all comes down to it. And I'll probably finish it with a sit up straight like this, press, chest press. And if I'm still have a
Okay.
little, if I have time, I might do just a burnout like a tricep, like maybe a kickback or a push down or something like that.
Okay. So are you like, is basically each day you go to the gym is sort of a different body part?
Pretty much.
Okay. So you have like a back day.
Yep. So how I have broken it down, I know that's ideal, but is Monday I do day 1 I do chest. Day 2 I do definitely back. Day 3 I do arms because I know I hit arms literally with chest and back, so I don't really focus on the bicep, tricep as much. I focus more on the shoulders, and that's one
Okay.
muscle I cannot get sore very easily for some reason, and I have weak shoulders. I know that. Then the last day is legs that I fucking hate.
But they're very important.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah, so all right, well that's good to know. So when you do this stuff, this is mostly free weights, dumbbells, barbells.
A mixture of both and
Okay.
machines. A mixture of 3, I would say.
Okay. What do you what do you feel you like to do best? Like what type of workout do you like to do
Old
best?
school bodybuilding workouts are my favorite.
Absolutely. Do you incorporate any body weight exercises at all?
A little bit here and there. I do a little bit of pull-ups. I got this one out of the Arnold's bodybuilding encyclopedia. He used to say do 50 pull-ups to how you build a bar, a good back, and that's what I use. I try to start that on my back day because I know pull-ups are a very important muscle, a very important exercise to build muscle because it works pretty much the whole body. But I know I focus sometimes more on the chest. Depends how where your arms are versus where dips or something like that. I might do some dips sometimes. It really depends on the day.
Okay. That is good to hear, good to know. Yeah, so we'll sort of work with that over time. And the key is just really like the routine that you're gonna be most comfortable with, the routine you're gonna feel best with, because that's most important.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're doing shit you really don't want to do, it's not gonna work out. But we may make some tweaks here as we go through the weeks, where we could possibly maybe do like a push day, a pull day, or we could do like chest and back together, or we'll sort of talk through this as we go through the weeks to figure it out. The philosophy behind that is because so let's say we have a typical week and we did break stuff one day chest, one day back, one day this. If you look at the whole week, you're only hitting that body part maybe one time. Whereas if you do a push pull and then a push pull, now you're hitting everything twice that week. So it's a way to increase volume without having to go to the gym more days, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely work through that. Are there any like injuries that you have or limitations in movement?
My legs are a little weaker. Now I'm getting older. My knees are starting to act up a little bit. I'm starting to realize, and I do have an old injury from karate in my knee. Um, I try to be careful with my shoulders because I know rotator cuff injuries are very common in the gym, so I try to be cautious of that.
Do you warm up before you start working out?
I do a little lighter set. Let's say I'm doing 45s for argument's sakes. I might do 30s or 35s. That'll be my warm up set, and then I go right into it.
Okay. Do you have any time that you do stretching, like during your workout or
I
a day off
should,
from the
but I
gym or
don't. I know I should, but I
okay.
don't. Sometimes I might have if I get there early enough, I might do a quick stretch a little bit. But I know I should stretch out at least after my workout, and that's just the course I was going to ask you because every say it says they say some people say do it before your workout, some people say after your workout, some people say both. Which theory is makes sense to you, or in what you recommend?
The types of stretching make the biggest difference there. So before you start working out, you want to do dynamic stretching. Basically, what that means is you're basically getting the body warmed up. You could be on an elliptical machine. You could do like a little bit of a yoga flow, and I'll like put some of these in the app so that we have an idea. But basically, dynamic just means you're stretching while you're moving. That way, you're really getting everything warmed
Mm-hmm.
up because what you don't want to do is you don't want to do a static stretch or a static hold before you start lifting, especially as the weight gets heavier, because you'll be more prone to injury that way.
Okay.
So, easy way to remember it is before the workout, moving stretching, and then after the workout or on your days off, that's when you would do like static holding stretching where you're like loosening up your hamstrings and stuff like that. It'll work out way better that way. And the other part is too, because now you're warmed up, you go through your workout, and then either after your workout or at night or on your day off, you're using that time to really stretch the rubber bands of the muscle to really keep things loose. So that way it's going to help with muscle growth. It makes muscle growth much easier and faster, and then it also helps prevent injury because you're stretching everything.
Okay, because I used to do when I was in my peak years at the gym. I used to do 10 minutes on a treadmill. That's what used to be my workout, my warm up. So do you want me to start doing that again? I assume.
Yeah, if that feels good for you and that's enough to get your body all warmed up and ready to go, that's key.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and this is an important question here. What is the most immediate results you like within the next 2 weeks or so? What is like the number one thing? What's the most immediate result you're trying to see?
There are two or three of them. I'll be honest with you. Okay, one is be consistent with the gym. I'm not want to get like I go today, then I skip 3 days, and that's my issue. I've been losing the weight, but I know mostly because I'm so active. Two is obviously start seeing the gut going down, but I think I'm asking a lot there. But if you want to give me a magic pill, I can take that and wake up tomorrow and get the body I want. That's even better. Um, that's the major ones. If I can start seeing little, size in my arms as I'm going, definition in the muscles. In other words, you starting getting a little ripped. I'll be happy with that. But I think 2 weeks is way too soon for that.
Does the numbers on the scale important to you?
I don't give a fuck about these numbers.
Oh, okay,
I care how I look and how I feel. As long as my
gotcha.
clothes fit and I feel good, I'm good. I'm fresh, like I always say. I don't care about the numbers. The only number that cares
Good.
about this. Here,
That is
here you go.
good to hear. Okay, and let's say we look at the long term, maybe 3 months, 6 months. What do you want to sort of achieve by then?
Get rid of this fucker. If in some possible you can get me shredded in 6 months, I will literally go on camera like I am right now and give you a fucking kiss.
That is our plan. That is what we're going to be
On a
working
side
towards.
note, me and Nick are nothing like that. It was just a little side joke. I don't want to be out there. Not like that. It's a little side joke. But no, seriously, if you can get me, shredded, I want to walk into my best friend's house for my vacation and his mouth to drop to the floor. And like, who the fuck are you? Same
And
thing with
what
his mouth.
sort of what day is it? What's the date of that?
I don't have a date yet. It's usually in the summertime.
Okay. I think we have plenty of runway to start to make some major progress
Hmm.
then. And then so sort of sort of how the process will work over the next few weeks here is now that we have sort of an idea where we're starting from, we'll start to sort of custom tailor a plan.
Okay.
The most important part is holding you accountable to this. So we'll have some training in there. So you'll have like when you go to the gym, you know exactly what workouts you're doing. If you wanted to, you can record, hey, I did this weight. You don't have to, that's up to you. In regard to nutrition, that's extremely important. Really tracking and holding you accountable to that. So we're going to be focusing on getting you more protein, trying to hit that protein number. And then as we go through the course of coaching together, the most important part is the accountability. And so part of the accountability is here and there, we'll take pictures of sort of what you're eating, sort of what your day looks like. That way we have a better idea. Hey, maybe we can make a swap here. We can make a change here. We could do this. And then we really look at that week by week.
Mm-hmm.
And then also in regard to like pictures, measurements, that way we know where we're starting off. And then maybe every week or every 2 weeks, we'll start to sort of remeasure and see, hey, are we getting closer to the goal? Are we moving further away? Did we hit a plateau? That way we sort of know exactly what we're doing. So the overall structure is we'll have a call like this where we're checking in every week and really going through, hey man, this how'd your plan of action go this week? How'd the workouts go? How'd the nutrition go? What do you feel we could work on or change? That way we're constantly tweaking it. So, and that's how we constantly see progress.
Okay, so a couple questions here. Measurements.
Yep.
How are we going to do that?
Um, if you have a tape measure, that's good. They're not 100% necessary as long as we have maybe a base set of pictures, because those are going to tell the biggest truth. Because we're able to see, hey, this is where we're starting from, and then maybe a week or two down, are we getting more defined or are we cutting down?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't record that, what happens is it's hard for our memory to like remember, like, hey, 3 weeks ago, I think I was a little more heavier, but I don't really know. Whereas if you have a picture, you can put them side to side.
It's something like the beard, like you or the hair. Like this week, it was like 2 months ago I had my head shaved. Now look at where I'm at, and the same thing. You see the growth and the pattern growing. Similar concept,
Yeah,
but different. Measurements, I can probably get somebody to measure me. That's not an issue. That's easy. It's gonna be like in 2 weeks actually. I'll be able to do that. I have somebody in mind who can help me with that.
yeah. Just the most important is like the waist measurement. So if you don't have that, we could always use like pant size just to get an idea where that is
Mm-hmm.
and how that changes over time.
Okay.
Because the biggest key is basically with body recomposition. Let's say someone's 175 pounds. Within a couple weeks, the scale may not move that much, but they may look completely different
Mm-hmm.
because muscle is heavy. And so as you're burning fat and you're building muscle, the weight may sort of stay around the same, but then you know how maybe I dropped a half a size in pants, or maybe I went
Okay.
down one full size in pants. So that's going to be ways that we're able to track progress.
Yeah. The next question I have for you, where how can I put this the best way? Actually, here isn't fat and muscle, of isn't fat a how can I put this? I'm trying to put the right words. I'm trying to think of how to say this. Isn't muscle a version of fat but a healthy fat, or am I wrong on this?
Two different things, but you can't. So in my experience, you can sort of do both at the same time. So you can burn fat and build muscle, and the reason why you're able to do that is because as you build more muscle, your metabolism increases. Your BMR, your basal metabolic rate increases. So the
Mm-hmm.
amount of calories you're burning throughout the day naturally will go up. And in turn, while that's happening, while you're building muscle,
Okay.
it makes it much easier to start burning fat day by day because now your metabolism is increasing over time.
Okay. So I guess the next point at this point is you're gonna run me at a workout for the 4 days, and we're gonna adjust it from there, correct?
Yeah, so we'll get all started with plan of action. You'll have your workouts within the app. You know exactly what to do. And then as we go through the first week, we'll start to tweak things and tailor them. So we'll be like, hey, how'd that workout feel? Do you want to change something in there? Maybe we do an exercise and you're like, hey, man, my shoulder didn't feel right with that. So then maybe we could change the angle. We could change the weight or the type of machine we're using. And that's how we'll sort of go week by week.
Mm-hmm.
And then the most important part, definitely nutrition, sleep, hydration. and we'll focus on those as well while we're going through this.
Honestly, hydration, I don't have too much problem because we usually get these cups at work to drink. They're 32 ounces. I drink 3 or 4 of those through a day. So water has never been an issue with me ever. Um,
That is good news.
yeah. So staying, sodas. I mean, like I can stay away. I gotta stay focused and disciplined. And and I think that's everybody's problem right now with who's trying to lose weight. Like, about how? Let me ask you this question: how do you feel about cheat meals now?
Yeah, so we can work those in. What we don't want to do is we don't want to have the domino effect. What the biggest mistake people make when it comes to cheat meals is a cheat meal becomes a second cheat meal and then becomes a cheat day. That will definitely hold back progress quite a bit.
Hmm.
Um, we don't really have to get crazy counting calories. I don't feel that is that important as long as we're getting enough protein and all that in and we're getting good workouts, that's going to work out over time. But to give you an idea of math, basically your pound of fat is 3,500 calories. And if we're trying to lose that, we need to sort of go 500 calories less a day. Whereas, let's say you get to the weekend and it's like, hey, I'm just going to have this cheat meal. Maybe it's a big thing of pasta with cream sauce. So that may be a lot of calories. Maybe, oh, I'll have like this little piece of cake or a brownie or what. That's all extra. And so what happens is over the course of the week, that one day can start to undo a lot of progress. But to make this sustainable, we want to like plan that in there. Hey, I want to have like a cheeseburger and fries. That's completely okay. We'll sort of plan that in. Hey, you know what? I'm going to plan for like Saturday or whatever. I'm not going to worry too much. I'm going to have the cheeseburger and fries. That's what I'm craving. Because the most important part is making this sustainable. It's not like a quick fix. It's more so lifestyle. So that way you're able to do this for weeks, months, and many years down the road.
Yeah, it sounds like a good plan to me because I believe in having that one cheat meal, not cheat day, cheat meal. So to kind of reboot your brain and your body a little bit,
Yeah.
saying, okay, I can relax a little bit and then go straight into it again this following week.
Yeah, the other way to look at it, Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. As long as 80% of the week we're working out, we're really on top of nutrition, you have that little 20% buffer where you could sort of get away with some more things.
Okay, that works for me. So I think that's it for today. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, so we'll get started with the plan. Do you have any other questions while we're on the call?
No, that's all I can think of. If I think of anything else, that's it. So let me just end the stream really fast. After talking to Nick, obviously you guys saw the whole conversation. If you didn't, I was okay too. It was very educational, very knowledgeable guy. I'm curious where this is gonna go with him. I told him straight up, I have that experience with personal trainers. He doesn't think I need a trainer. I need more coaching. Two different things. Trainer is actually who sits there hand to hand, just teaches the works out, and that's it. A coach is gonna break everything down. That's what I need a little bit. I'm excited. Excited and at the same time. So except that, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really curious. I will have Nick's information about him. I will have my boy's information about him. Also, I mentioned earlier. So except that, guys. As always, stay fresh.